encouragement to all of you tonight. And as Brady said, I believe when it's over, everybody's going to be able to say they were glad they came. What great example! 10 times more powerful than great advice. And today, as we celebrate Veterans Day, every man and every woman who served this great nation of ours, they're the example. I said they are the example. And again, it's an honor for me to be here tonight. I'll tell you why. As you saw on the screen, June 14, 1969, while serving with 1st Platoon Alpha Company, 2nd of the 14th Battalion, the 25th Infantry Division, our main assignment every day was to go out and look for trouble. I was amazed at how successful we were at finding it. Ambush patrols in the morning, search and destroy missions in the afternoon, some more patrols at night. And on June 14, 1969, our immediate commanding officers told us to go into a place called the Hobo Woods. I'll tell you a little bit about the Hobo Woods. It had the reputation of being one of the 3 most dangerous areas in the entire country of Vietnam. Our assignment turned the place into a parking lot. Guess what happened? Our company got ambushed instead. And the next thing I recall, all these explosives were going off. Men were getting killed, men were getting injured, and everybody was yelling and screaming for help! 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 What do? Put yourself in that situation for just a moment. I'm going to ask you the question one more time. What do? I could only come up with 2 options. One of them was run the opposite direction for safety. The other option, you saw it on the screen, the Gospel of John chapter 15 and verse 13. I'll say it one more time. Greater love has no man than this, that a man be willing to lay down his life for his friends. It's not a real popular concept, to be honest with you. But I ran up. As I was running up to save some of my fallen comrades, I stepped on and detonated what's known as an 82 millimeter mortar round, booby trap, powerful explosive. Powerful enough it could put a tank out of commission. One went off right here, right now, had the potential to kill every single person in this room. Got a killing radius of about 30 yards. I was a little closer than 30 yards. I was standing on it. Next report on Bob Wieland, they put me in a body bag, zipped it up, flew me to the 12th Evacuation Hospital in Cu Chi, Vietnam, where 2 of the top doctors pronounced me dead on arrival at the hospital. Hey! That's why I'm so happy to be in Beaumont, Iowa! Alive! Alright! Hey now! Hey now! Iowa! You see, if you don't believe in miracles, here we go. God is good. You see, God spared my life for a reason. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm not alive because I had 21 inch arms. That's not the correct answer. God intervened. God gave me a second chance. But as I look out at this audience tonight, I'm willing to say, God's given most of you a second chance. He's given us all a second chance. Now what do? Well, everybody here has been given a gift. Whether it's sports, whether it's knowledge, technology, everybody's been given a gift. What do you do now? Take that gift and give it away. You watch God multiply it. I said, you watch God multiply it. I regained consciousness a week later. The sheets were pulled up to my neck. I thought, what in the world is going on? And I lifted up the sheet. So I didn't have no legs. It was pretty interesting. But my first goal was to sit up in bed. I said, just to sit up in bed. I couldn't do it. Then the doctors came to my bedside and said I had to start a rehabilitation program. Man, they brought these monster weights to the bed. This one weight weighed at least 5 pounds. It was too heavy. I couldn't lift it. But I told the doctor, I said, hey, Doc, man, don't be so concerned. I said, who knows? Maybe one day. I said, maybe one day. I don't know when the day will be, but maybe one day. I said, I believe I'm going to go on and break the world record in the bench press. In fact, I'll do it against able-bodied individuals. Might as well have a big vision. The doctor said, oh my goodness, Vietnam has really affected his mind. They thought I was crazy. Couldn't sit up in bed. Now you're telling somebody you're going to break the world record. Guess what happened? They set up an appointment for me to see the psychiatrist. How do you think I felt? I just get my legs blown off. Now they think I'm crazy. I'll never forget. I walked in, I rolled in to the psychiatrist. I talked to the guy about 25, 30, 35 minutes before I finally got him straightened out. Oh man, did he have some hang-ups. Wow. I got a big smile. What are you smiling about? You're just trying to cover up what happened. I said, sir, I'm happy to be alive. I said, but it will make you feel better. I'm proud. Well, what are you frowning about? You're just depressed about what happened. I said, sir, what do you want me to do? I'm running out of options for facial expressions. But in my heart, whose heart? I said, in my heart, I believed that everything was going to be okay. Isn't that interesting? That's what I believe. In fact, I still recall a letter I wrote home to my folks. It said, dear Mom and Dad, I'm in the hospital. You know what my second sentence was? Everything is going to be okay. I said, the people here are taking good care of me. And that sounds like the Beaumont Tennis Academy a little bit, doesn't it? Aren't they taking good care of you at this tennis academy? You better believe they're taking care of you. Then I said, hey, it won't be that much of an adjustment. Please don't worry about me. Maybe I'll help you out in real estate. Love, Mom. Oh, then I put, P.S., listen to this one. I think I lost my legs. Wait a second. Let me ask you a question. If you had your legs blown off, don't you think you would know it? I wasn't even sure because I'm weaving in and out of consciousness. But finally I told the psychiatrist, I said, hey pal, I'm over here on Ward 4 CD. I said, if you ever need any help, come on down. 5 pounds led to 10, 10 led to 15, 15 led to 20. Didn't happen overnight. It took about 8 years. Then I'm encouraged to enter the United States Powerlifting Championships against the strongest able-bodied men in the world. Did you hear what I said? The strongest able-bodied men in the world. See, I didn't realize I was disabled till my neighbor mentioned it to me one day because I was in the backyard and I was pushing the wheelchair with one arm and the lawnmower with the other. Can you hear that? I'm going like, wheelchair, lawnmower, ho, hey, ho, hey. My neighbor leans over and says, hey, Bob, man, you shouldn't be cutting the lawn. You're handicapped. Man, I thought about it I said, hey, buddy, I said, you better tell that to my wife. Because she said, if I don't get the lawn cut, I'm going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Is there any men here today who can relate to that? We got one guy in the back. All right, that's awesome. Well, I entered that competition now. I got to clarify this a little bit because I've competed in a number of different weight classifications. At that time, I got all the way down to 122 pounds and was able to bench press 303 pounds, and then a little heavier weight, as Brady mentioned in the introduction, I was able to bench press 507 pounds by the grace of God. Now, if you don't know how heavy 507 pounds is, when you get home tonight, go in your kitchen, pick up your refrigerator, and let me know what happens. Now, I had a guy try that last week. He said, "Hey, Bob, is there food in the refrigerator?" Come on, man. That bar went up. Oh, man. I felt great. Then the officials came up and they said, "What a fantastic lift, however." Man, I thought, why would they say however? Sounds like you're going to say something else. They brought out this thick rule book. They said, "Hey, we're talking about page 32. Paragraph 3, sentence 2. I'm thinking, man, sentence 2. Because I kind of remembered sentence 1. But 2 was a little hazy, see? And they said if a man enters competition, he breaks a world's record and he's not wearing shoes, he must be disqualified. Wouldn't you know it? That was the day I forgot to wear my kicks, man. And because this was a very intelligent group of officials, they recognized it almost immediately. Hey, the guy over there, no shoes, you're out of here. Well, I went up to the official. I said, "Look, my friend, if you want to accept the record, it's fine." I said, "You know what? If you don't, hey, it's okay." I said, "The joy has been in the journey." What about your life tonight, ladies and gentlemen? What about the journey you've been on? Has it been a joy? It should be, because God said it should be. I'm all about going forward. That's why we're here tonight. But anyhow, I was fortunate enough to break the world record a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. I'm getting ready to break it a fifth time. Called the chairman for my entry blank. He says, "We're making a new decision." Oh, they're going to accept the record. He said, "No, we've decided to ban you from competition because we think you have an advantage over all." I said, "What? What?" I said, "I don't have no legs, no balance, no leverage, no stability." I said, "If it's such an advantage to do the bench press without legs," I said, "well, how come all the other weightlifters don't go to hospital?" You see anybody doing it lately? No. So where's the advantage? It's right there in your heart. You see, you can't stop a person with a big heart. I sense there's a lot of big hearts at this function tonight. Let me say it one more time. There's a lot of big hearts at this function tonight. And so I said, "Now what I do, God?" Well, I happen to be watching Wide World of Sports. Some of you remember the award-winning broadcaster, Brent Musburger. He said, "We want to preempt our regular programming and take you up to Canada to share you a story about a young man named Terry Fox." Some of you might remember the name, some of you might not. Terry was a Canadian. He had only one leg, and he's attempting to go all the way across America. And Brett Musburger says, "Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Terry Fox has died today." I'm in my living room in Southern California. I said, "Oh my goodness." Probably one of the most courageous people I've ever saw. Well, then the next day a friend of mine said, "Hey, Bob, you know what? If you can't lift weights," he says, "I got an idea." I said, "What is it?" He said, "Why don't you join me and enter a triathlon?" And I said, "A triathlon? What do you have to do?" "Oh," he said, "you just start off, you swim 2.5 miles in the ocean, get out of the ocean, jump on a bicycle 112 miles, and then you run a 26-mile marathon." I said, "Wow, Dennis, that sounds kind of challenging." "Don't you think that'd be challenging?" this the Beaumont Triathlon Association? But yeah, no problem. Why go over to Kona, Kailua, Hawaii, man? I jump in that ocean, you know, the ocean with those big fish with the big teeth. That'll make you swim faster, bro. Well, I did the 2.5-mile swim, praise God, in 1 hour and 43 minutes, rough water. Then I jumped on my bike, pedaled it 112 miles, and I said, oh, just for kicks, I'll crank out 26 on my arms. They said, you're crazy, bro. I said, well, I'm going to use a wheelchair when I get a little older, you know. But anyhow, that's, I don't know. I don't think anybody else has ever done that. Anyhow, that was many years ago, and the next day after, I went to in Los Angeles. They hosted the 1984 Olympics, of course, and Brady, I think, mentioned, I was on the faculty at, and this was kind of interesting, I was on the faculty at California State University in Los Angeles, and I majored in physical education. I remember when I went to enroll, the guy said, oh, what are you going to enroll in, geography, English? I said, physical education. He said, could you please repeat that? I said, physical education. Well, sir, he said, I don't know how to tell you this. He said, our building is not accessible. We don't have any elevators. All the classes are on the 2nd floor, and there's 27 steps. Oh, I said, that won't be a problem. The guy said, could you please repeat that? I said, that won't be a problem. So I took the chair, and I went, hoo! And I threw that chair up 27 steps. I grabbed the railing. I was at the top of the steps in 4.210 seconds. And you know what the guy said? You can major in anything you want to. And that's why Watering Seeds is so special. Watering Seeds is giving these awesome athletes. I didn't say regular athletes. I said awesome athletes. Awesome athletes. An opportunity to participate. Well, I wanted to participate. So my first class at the university was Theory of Wrestling. So I jumped up to 27 steps. The instructor was the varsity wrestling coach. He said, I'm going to be honest with you, Bob. He said, I've never had a student in your situation before. He said, I'm just curious. He said, what would be your approach out on the mat? Well, I said, Coach, the only thing I can think of is first person to die is the loser. He said, oh my goodness. But I had a lot of fun, and I got my degrees and joined the faculty there. And as I said, that's how the walk across America began, because I went to the tartan track and jumped out of the wheelchair and took a lap around the track on my arms. Now you saw, I think I wasn't upside down. I didn't want to get dizzy, so I finished that lap. I thought every muscle in my body was going to fall off. Does that kind of give you an idea of the intensity level? It doesn't. Well, then when you go home tonight, what first thing you're going to do is pick up your, you didn't forget that already, pick up your refrigerator. And then the second thing, sit down on your living room floor, cross your legs over. See if you can make it to the other side of the room. Now, I had somebody try that last week. I said, how'd it go? He said, both things were tough. Got a hard time crossing your legs over. You need to get one of those aerobic records tomorrow. Get started. But I trained for 18 months. Up and down the mountains of Southern California, along the beaches, down by the ocean. On September 8th, the DVD announced, on September 8th, 1982, I announced to the world I was going to walk across America on Mars. We had a support group, and they said, Bob, we're going all the way to Washington, D.C. I thought, man, they're going all the way. Oh, and then we hit the desert. of Arizona in the summertime. That lush green oasis, if you will. You ever been around Tucson in June, July, or August? Reflective heat off the asphalt, 120, 130, 150 or more degrees. Race from the sun beating down 115, 120 or more degrees, and everybody said, "Hey, Bob, we've been thinking about it. We're going to head back to California." Listen closely. Everybody left. Except me. I said, "Well, why didn't you leave?" I said, "I'm trying to get to Washington, D.C. Let me set you up." When everybody left, I had a little over 2,000 miles to go. I had one canteen of water. I had a granola bar and a box of raisins. What do you think the circumstances look like? You want me to repeat the question? 2,000 miles to go, one canteen of water, a granola bar, and a box of raisins. Bleak! But I took another step, and another step, and another step. But what was the premise? Simply put, always remember, it's too soon to quit. And that's why I want to encourage all these mighty, mighty Cardinal tennis team to go for it. And all these wheelchair athletes to go for it. Because something super great is about to happen. See, don't ever let somebody else goof up your dreams. I said, don't ever let somebody else goof up your dream. Let's encourage one another. Well, people say, how long were you out in the desert? A couple of days, a week, a month? I was out in the desert for 5.5 months. I said, well, why would you do that? I said, I'm trying to get to Washington, D.C. And then one day a highway patrol officer came up to me. He said, man, what in the world are you doing out here on the interstate? Gee, sir, I said, I'm just walking across America on my arms. Why do you ask? You know. He said, do you know what the temperatures are like out here? I said, well, no, I trained in Santa Monica. Cool ocean breezes. You know what he told me? He said, last week he took a look out in the desert. He said he saw a coyote chasing after a rabbit. He said it was so hot, they were both walking. Hey, this is some of my best stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Well, 5.5 months later, a guy's driving down the freeway, cut over, come back, and he said, I want to encourage you. And that's why I'm here tonight. I simply want to encourage you to go after your dreams, to go after your goals. Get behind an organization like Watering Seed. Can I say that one more time? Get behind an organization like Watering Seed. You see, when you want to serve others, you'll never, ever be without a job. Yeah. And there's always somebody that needs your, hey, I mean, we need your help tonight. Hey, these wheelchairs, almost $3,000 a piece. Come on. There's corporations got $3,000 falling out of their pocket right here in Beaumont, Texas. You see, when you help others get over the bar, it's priceless. You can't even put a price tag on it. That's why God's word said it's always more of a blessing to give than it is to receive. So if you've been blessed, hey, chip in. We need a little help. What's wrong with that? You think you're going to feel lousy when you help somebody out? No. You're going to feel like a giant when you help somebody else out. Well, this man joined me. He resigned from his job and he joined me and went all the rest of the way across America. So even though everybody left on September 8th, 1982, May 14th, 1986, after being on the road for 3 years, 8 months, and 6 days, for 2,784.1 mile was completed. It took approximately 4,900,016 steps to get. Oh, yeah, approximately, give or take a couple of steps. Praise the Lord. Well, I get to Washington, D.C., and guess who welcomes me there? President Ronald Reagan. And so we're in the Oval Office at the White House, press from all over the world. And I said, Mr. President, I said, I hope in some small way, I said, and I hope in some small way this project has been an encouragement to you. And everybody said, well, what did the president say? What did he say? I said, he didn't say anything. He started crying. President Reagan started crying right there in the Oval Office. I went out and I finished the last mile at the Vietnam Memorial, Wall 22 West, line 47. Therein lies the name of Jerome Lubino, my buddy, my fellow soldier, and I did my very best to save his life. But that's where I ended the project, and been going hard ever since. You heard I had the opportunity to be the strength coach, strength and flexibility coach for the Green Bay Packers. Is Herman, I saw Herman step out. Herman Fontenot? No. Herman, does anybody see Herman?
He was just in the back, yeah, he may have stepped out.
Herman! I want to bring up Herman. We're from Beaumont, Texas! Herman Fontenot! It's been a while since we hooked up. But here's all I want to say. You know, these guys, they tried to get over on me, man, once in a while. They say, hey, coach, we got a sore ankle. My hamstring's a little tight. And I said, I wish I had a tight hamstring. And all of a sudden, it was all good. But it's an honor for me to be with Herman. I want Herman to just, would you share?
I have something to say. Thank you. Yes. So I'm outside talking to the police officer, and I say, look, they're probably hearing this for the first time. I heard it 27 years ago. I'm back in the back, and I'm getting tied up by the eye. They're getting loose. They're starting to water. I remember this from 27 years ago. So as a young man, 25 years old, before when I was playing the Green Bay Packers, and I got there, and it was Bob that gave us what he's giving you. So imagine coming out to go play a sport when you hear about his challenge. I'm back in the back. I said, I gotta go outside, man. I can't hear. I mean, I'm watering up here because it's touching me. And I've shared a few things, a lot of stuff Brady knows about me, and this is an incredible human being. And the first time I met Brady, high behind his Foster Grants with the shades on, trying to be cool. Wasn't really expecting to say hello. I said, what? How you doing, brother? And he started smiling, took the shades off. That's when it started. Am I right? On the way to New York for the Super Bowl, I said hello. When he got his shades on in the back, kind of covered up. Oh man, you can't hide. You have that light. My Lord allows me to see your light.
Come on.
I would have never said hello if he did not. This man, I'm telling y'all, wow. Brady calls me today, Bob, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. Oh, we're going to have this special thing for Bob. He called me today, B. I'm coming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:30. I've been moving since 5 a.m. this morning. I did 12, 13 hours of work today. And you know how God has blessed me though? Not only do I love, He he has put me in charge of the heart. And what I mean by that is, our 3D print hearts for Houston Methodist Section Children and MD Anderson, so our 3D print the hearts for the surgeons before they actually perform surgery on someone that needs to have their surgery done to possibly save their life. So now you give me the duty of being a part of saving lives? Well, you know I love, you know I cry, you know I'm emotional. You don't know it and you don't know me. But I don't get up here and hesitate with my conversation. This is the fact. This is my heart. And I care about all of you. You just don't know me. I love you, brother. 27 years. I had to walk outside, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm telling you, there is nothing I did in the NFL or in college. None of that stuff mattered. My grandmother, I moved home 2012, January 1st. My grandmother who raised me long enough, kept me strong enough to go through LSU, to do what I've done, to make it to the NFL, and make it through that struggle 20 some odd years ago, 30 years ago. That woman was a strong woman. So she made me believe in who I am. She made me love, or be able to love. Not to treat people unkindly because of what you look like, what you got, how much you have. It doesn't matter. When I walked in here tonight, Brady didn't invite me here just to stand around and be cool. When I walked in here tonight, I'm straight, right there, right there. Right. But you can't work the camera, man, so you ain't taking more pictures. I'm talking about you. So I said hello as soon as I come in. That's what he would want me to do. I said, well, don't call me today, call me a year from now, so I can help. I'm from Beaumont, South End, but I live all over Beaumont. I am proud of who I am and where I'm from. I love you all. God bless America. Men, I salute you.
One more